All right, folks, what is going on? Welcome to episode 359 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller, and before I get into the process of this episode, because this is going to be a lot to talk about here, I took a day off, and I'm glad I did. It gave me a chance to process some stuff. All right, but before I get started, I want you to look at the screen right here. If you're watching this on YouTube or Rumble, Georgia Southern is hosting a regional in the College Baseball World Series. I think this is awesome. We didn't win the Sun Belt the other day. That was kind of disappointing, but we are hosting a regional, so that's a big deal. We went 40-18, and I love what we're doing with this baseball team. I haven't followed them enough, and I admit I have not, but I've been watching a few games. These guys can play. But with that being said, we're hosting a baseball College World Series, bracket. I mean, I think this is pretty neat. So congratulations to the Georgia Southern Eagles baseball team. Hopefully they can go as far as necessary to win something. Because, I'm going to be watching. June 3rd through the 6th. It's going to be great. Cannot wait to see what goes on there. Welcome to the First and Frame Rate channel. If this is your first time here, I am VF Baller, and this is the First and Frame Rate show. And today, we are talking more Atlanta Falcons football. We also talk about Georgia Southern football here, but there's no football going on. I just congratulated the baseball team, so that is awesome. So, with that being said, I can be found on YouTube Rumble. I can also be found on Anchor, Stitcher, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts if you want to listen to the podcast on those avenues. And all the links are down in the description if you want to donate and help this podcast grow. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. You have a lot of people, and I try not to get into this. I swear I try not to get into this. You have a lot of people that are Twitter GMs. You have a lot of people that think they know know what's going on. And some of them know what's going on, but they try to put their own spin on it because they don't know how to form a real thought process when it comes to, watching a team do things or just go through the motions of a season or off season. So they come up with these debates, and, I'm not going to get into the actual debate or whatever the case may be or the topic of it, but some of these debates are very lazy. You could tell some people have been watching a lot of ESPN or FS1 or any of these other places that do these type of things. They want to try to create a buzz. Me personally, I feel that the best way to create a buzz, a productive one anyway, is to actually have some, substance behind what you're saying. And I understand that people are trying to do the best they can to make, either content or post certain things or put things on social media to garner people to watch or listen or read their stuff. And, it's always the easy way out just to do something really lazy, something really, simple. This is one of the reasons why I like doing this podcast, is I always try to put something out there to make you think a little bit. And I want people to understand that when you learn about your team, you learn about your team. You don't just say, hey, I think this is going to happen or else. No, you have to understand why things are moving and shaking, like why Brian Edwards got traded here, why Auden Tate got signed, what's the whole situation with Tyler Algier, what about Jermaine Ifedi, what's up with him, why Kyle Pitts is going to be, basically the top tight end when we thought it was going to be a 2 tight end set. Now we're going to have more of a blocking tight end on the other side of him. Why these things are happening the way they are. And you want to figure out what's happening with the team. And the best way to do it is to really understand what's going on. Now, I have my son behind me as usual. You know how that goes, so you'll probably hear him in the background. But you have to understand what's going on. It is real easy to say somebody need to do this or else. We have to understand that this is a process. Everything that has happened since this new regime has taken over, it's a process. You have to understand that when the new regime comes in, there's a lot of moving and shaking is going to happen, and some of your favorite players may not be on the team. Some of your favorite players are going to want to trade. That's what happened last year. One of our favorite players wanted to get traded. This year, one of our favorite players got traded. This is what happens when you change over sometimes. It happens in pretty much all aspects of sports. So we have to understand the process. If you feel that you know something, the best way to do is to articulate what you think you know what's going on. Because for me, I always live on the predication that I don't know. only assess what I see. I'll give you an opinion about it, but it's based on what I see. I don't try to, be smarter than I really am. I don't, my main thing is if I'm able to put something together that makes sense, I'm going to give it to you in a way that makes sense. And I love it when people in the comment section debate me, telling me, hey, this is what I think. And we come together for a complete thought, whether I agree with them or disagree. Sometimes I feel like sometimes we feel like we agree to disagree, but that's okay. But just to have a debate, to have a back and forth, I think that is completely pointless. We have to understand that this is a process. If a new player comes in and this player does not perform to the highest amount that you think it is, that's okay. Things happen. Not everybody on a 53-man roster is going to be top notch. That's not on any football team, any NFL team. Everybody's not going to be that guy at a top level. Even Super Bowl champions have flaws. They just find a way to win the football game. So you have to understand that even with all that's going on, this process could take years to create. We all think that Pat Mahomes just won the Super Bowl walking out of the facility and started playing football. No, this Pat Mahomes thing was what, 4, maybe 5 years in the making when he got there or something like that. You have to understand that a lot of these teams who win Super Bowls, it's a process of going into it. You don't win it right away. And even with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, yeah, that's an anomaly because first of all, you got probably the greatest quarterback that ever played the game to do it. But on top of that, look how long it's been before they got there and went back. The Patriots had a formula and it worked. But like I said, once again, that's an anomaly. All 32 teams can't be the Patriots. It's just not going to happen. We had our chance back in 2016. 2017, I can't even remember the year when 2083 happened. But we had our chance, and look how hard it is for us to get back. Look at all these other teams who made it one time. It's so hard for them to get back. It was a gap between the time that the Steelers won theirs with Roethlisberger. So my main thing is like you may think but you have no idea. It's so easy to say, hey, if one player doesn't do right, we need to scrap it all and do it all over again, especially with somebody who's just now starting out, getting their feet wet as a professional. I mean, what are we doing here? I think that what Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot have done, they have put a team together that is actually able to thrive together. They put a bunch of guys together who are hungry. They put a bunch of guys together who are ready to go. They put a bunch of guys together that want to get paid. And with that being said, you put a philosophy together that possibly could work, and you may see some good results. And you may see them sooner rather than later, or you may see them later than sooner. That's just the process. That's just how it goes. Everything is not just a cut and dry fix. You got to understand, look at the guys at the University of Georgia. Look how long it's been for them to win a national title. We're talking about almost 40 years. You know what I mean? So we have to understand, like, I know that's college, but still it's all a process. You got to understand, like, right now we got the Golden State Warriors and the Boston Celtics going for the NBA title. Look at that. I mean, the Golden State Warriors were like the poster child of like winning championships at one point. That was somewhat an anomaly, especially in the NBA. You haven't seen nothing like that in a long time, but it took them a while to get back again. The Celtics haven't been back since 2010, almost 12 years. So it's like we have to pump our brakes when we're really trying to understand what is going on with these Falcons and other teams in general. We just have to understand that it's a process. You may know everything, but you have no idea. You may think you know everything, but you have no idea. It just doesn't work that way. And I know we have a lot of people that are out there that think they know what's the best interest of the team. Newsflash, you want to know something? I'll tell you something. To be honest, these guys do their job for, like, they're really good at their job. But to be honest, the coach and the GM, they don't know what's best for the team. And I know you're probably listening to me like, what do you mean? He doesn't know, they don't know what's best for the team. No, they don't. They're just putting players together that they think that could work with their philosophy. There's no magic pill to know, oh, this is exactly going to work, so we're going to do this. Why do you think they have all these players coming in? All these players coming in for OTAs, and you got 90-something players coming in to actually try out for the team, to find out what works. They just happen to be much better at it than us. So with that being said, if you're watching on the screen, I'm looking at my son right here. He's a little busybody, but I love him to death. He just does his thing. But I want you guys to understand that it like I said, I can't say it enough. It's a process. No matter how much you think you know, you have no idea. None of us know. But the beautiful thing about it is we all can debate. We all can have fun, and I love it when the debates are thoughtful. Shout out to the guys in the Discord at Atlanta Falcons Nation. I mean, those guys have very, they have some intelligent thought behind what they're saying. I mean, some of the stuff be funny, some of the stuff be comical, but a lot of those guys know what they're talking about for the most part. Shout out to my Discord, First and Frame Race Discord. Go ahead and check it out. The link is down in the description. Those guys are, over there, we talk more Georgia Southern than anything, but they have thoughtful commentary within their post on Discord. It is so easy to put something out there on Twitter to get a lot of likes and retweets and all this and make it sound good. And, I'm not pointing out one person in particular, but there's a handful of, because there's a handful of guys that do this. And I'm not knocking them. I understand it. I get it. But to be honest, we just have to understand, it's bigger than what we think it is. We don't know. We're just, Arthur Smith in the article that I talked about a while back, he absolutely shredded a lot of Twitter GMs. It's like they think they know what they're talking about. Like, look, man, they're trying to build a team, and I believe in Mariota. I believe in Ritter. I believe in everybody on this team. The main thing is, can they implement just enough to get some W's in the column, in the win column? Can we get some W's in the win column? And the way we do it is making acquisition like a Brian Edwards, making sure that Grady Jarrett is re-signed. Jake Matthews been a staple on offense. Make sure he's re-signed. Try to get some help on the other side of the offensive line. Get enough receivers that can catch the ball and and be physical. Get a running game. Get some DBs that can cover. Guys that are all over the place that's flying towards the ball. This is how you try to find a way to get this thing in order so you can win some football games. This is what I'm talking about, understanding and knowing that this is a process. None of us here are experts. Some people think they are. None of you guys are experts. None of us. From the little small guy like me that's doing a podcast and on YouTube and Rumble to the guys that are doing the citywide and nationwide radio stations about our team. We're not experts. We don't know what any of this is going to be. The main thing is we could just implement the best talent available within the cap space, within, the confines of what Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith may see what fits their process and put the best product out there on the field. That is the only way that we're going to know if we're going to win games. There's no magic pill to say, hey, put this out there, we're going to win 10 games. Right now, it looks like we could win more than 7. I'll tell you that much. We went 7-10 last year with no receivers, basically. And no disrespect to Russell Gage and Alamai Zacchaeus. No disrespect to them. But none of those guys were number ones. They got a very good important role on the football field, but they're no number ones. Now it's possible that we have 3 number ones right now at wide receiver because of the process that is going on. It's a beautiful thing, guys. This is a beautiful thing. I love everything about what's going on. And I cannot stress it enough that I'm here for all of this. I'm here for all of this. There's nothing about this I can say I dislike. I do wish that we can post up the offensive line a little bit better because I'm kind of interested to see what's going to happen with the guys we already have. But they're, in my opinion, they're kind of unproven, especially on that right side. So hopefully we could get that shored up and then we can be rocking and rolling. You know, what do you guys think? I mean, I don't want to go much more in a circle, but before I close, I'm going to say this. Thank everybody. I thank you guys, everybody who has come through and actually gave an honest, thoughtful opinion and commentary on this channel when it comes to the comment section. If I deem it to be a very good commentary, I will pin it at the top and it will stay there for as long as I wouldn't mind. So my main thing is just keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, and I appreciate it. Let me know if you like this commentary. You see my son, y'all? That boy's a mess. If you like this commentary, hit the like button, share this commentary, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. This is episode 359. I want you guys to understand this is a process. The Falcons are moving in the right direction no matter what anybody says. And no matter if one person is not living up to the hype in the first year or the second year or their first year under this regime, it's okay. Because this is a process. This is a 3, 4, 5-year process, believe it or not. These 1-year deals that we have now, there's a lot of cap space we have next year is going to be very telling about what we're going to do. And I think we're in a pretty good position to do some great things. Check out all the links down in the description if you don't mind. Let me know if you want to continue to subscribe to more than one podcast avenue or a visual avenue. That helps because if one goes down, you can check out it on another avenue. And I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you guys. One more thing to note, I need to get me a new jersey. I need to get some of those newer uniforms that the Falcons have. I got a couple of them in mind I want to get. I don't know, man. I might get a few of them. All right, y'all. Y'all take it easy. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. You guys be blessed. Peace.